Welcome to BYOB. Now is the time to build your own business and push your brand forward. Join us each week for fresh, innovative strategies to bring your brand and business to new heights. Call in at 888-994-4995, Studio B. Now let's get to the show.
Good morning, everyone. It's a marvelous Monday. I'm Bridget Hum, your host of BYOB, Bring Your Own Business. And today I have a fantastic guest for you. He is the owner of Gubba Rum. His name is Stephen Gubb. And we're going to talk about this fantastic rum that he has branded and created and is available to you. If you have any questions, feel free to call in and join us. The number is 888-994-4995, Studio 5. So here we are. Hi, Stephen. How are you today?
Bridget, good morning. I hope you had a great weekend.
I did. It probably would have been better if I had some Gubba Rum with me. Look, I see that you have that there.
Yes, I never leave home without it. I hope American Express doesn't get upset with me for saying that.
That's awesome. Well, I have a question for you. It's very simple. I'm super excited. I looked over your story on your website, gubbarum.com, and it sounds silly, but why rum?
Well, believe it or not, at the time, I was never in the liquor business, and I certainly, when we started, I knew nothing about it. And to tell you the truth, I'm still far from being a genius when it comes to the liquor business. But anyway, when I was in the Caribbean on a vacation, and I tried a very tasty spirit down in the island of St. Martin, which I understand is reopening to Americans on August 1st. Anyway, I got the crazy idea of saying, hey, why don't I try to import this? And I went back to St. Martin because it was still wintertime. And if you're going to go somewhere, why not go to the Caribbean? I made a deal with the people who made that particular spirit. They were real nice people. But the short story is that particular spirit, because it was made in the back of their house out in a grass hut with a dirt floor, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, was never going to let that come into the United States. So with that in mind, and it was a rum spirit, more of a rum liqueur, I was put in touch with a distillery out in Colorado, and the short story is that they were willing to work with me to sort of translate that spirit into a product that would sell in the United States. So that's why it's rum.
So that's how Gubba Rum began. That was the story.
That was the story, and the other reason was that bourbon was pretty saturated. Vodka was super saturated, and it's more saturated every 5 minutes. I certainly wasn't. I don't live in Scotland, so that was out. So this and rum seemed at the time, this is 8 years ago, was a somewhat underserved market. There was room to grow in that market.
That makes perfect sense. And what an entrepreneur mindset. You saw that there was a lack and a need, and you decided to fill it. And what better way to do that than with spirits? Especially now. Exactly. I think drinking. Go on.
No, I was going to say that's exactly right. And the reason there were plenty of straight rums, a light rum, a dark rum, a spice rum. But we went the infusion route, as I hope you know by now. Our silver rum is an infusion of real coconut, and our gold rum is an infusion of real vanilla. The reason we did that was, well, if Steve up in Massachusetts makes another rum, who cares? Nobody cares. But we thought that if we did these infusions, they would become more unique, and therefore we might have a chance of making it.
Absolutely, differentiate. They're also organic, right?
Yes, they are. We make the rums with all certified organic ingredients, and because we make them in Colorado, pure Rocky Mountain water. So, yeah, and it does make a difference when you think about it. Various places have various water qualities. So why not go with the best?
This almost sounds healthy. I mean, it almost looks like you could drink it for breakfast.
It is. We recommend it for medicinal purposes. Mix it in your cereal. Really good stuff.
I love it. That will help you reach anyone could be your target market above 21, right?
Above 21, and you'd be surprised how many people are pouring my rum into their Frosted Flakes when they're 25 years old.
That's awesome. Well, we would love to know how we can get this rum for, the average consumer. And tell us a little bit about that. How can we connect with you? How can we contact you to get this for ourselves?
Well, if somebody wants to contact me directly, they just have to go to our website. They can email me at steve@gubbarum.com. Gubba Rum is all one word. steve@gubbarum.com. And we don't have a vast army of employees here. If you want to call me, you can call me, and I'll be happy to give out my cell phone number. It's 617-721-7688. I'm up in Boston, but we do distribute in Massachusetts, Florida, and Louisiana. And I'm happy to mention I'd love to mention a couple of places in Florida where our rum is available, if you'd like.
Oh, that's fantastic. And if anyone else has any other questions for Stephen personally about how Gubba Rum continued to start or where you can get some for your parties, because I know a lot of people are starting to gather again in different states. And as he said, it's available. As long as you reach out to him, he could probably ship you some directly, maybe. But for now, go on.
What I was going to say is, unfortunately, that's not something we can do. Liquor is a very heavily regulated industry, as I'm sure you know, and to ship directly, I'm not able to do that right now. I'm in the process of changing shipping companies. I have been using somebody in Florida. I'm making a change, but the easiest thing is just to give me a call. I'm happy to talk to anybody who either wants to buy a bottle or will direct them to a great location, or somebody who would be able to ship to them legally, or they can go if they're in Massachusetts, Florida, or Louisiana, or even if they're in another state. If you go to frequently, if you go to your local liquor store and they know you, you ask for the manager, request a particular product. Sometimes they'll be able to get it for you.
That's true, especially if you know the liquor store owner. But that's so wonderful. Absolutely. How you have such a personal connection. This is your company. And, here on BYOB, it's really important that we love to interview and showcase entrepreneurs who started this. Like, I love your personal story, how it started with your story with your wife, where you found a rum that said, this is smooth, this is amazing. I want to recreate this and make this available for many people to enjoy in the States. And so I want to put that number out there real quick, Stephen, so that people can call in if they have any other questions for you. And that number is 888-994-4995, Studio 5. Go on, Stephen.
What I was going to say was, Bridget, in your intro, I noticed the several shots in your intro. One of the shots is of a young man in a really nice suit sitting at a conference table. Now, what I get to do is wear this shirt and sit in a less formal room than that gentleman was sitting in that conference room with a bottle of rum next to me and talk to you. How great is that?
It's pretty fantastic. And is that a COVID day switch, or is this your norm?
No. This is my norm. I work. My company is is really small. It's me, and yes, I certainly have people working with me in Massachusetts, Florida, and Louisiana, and I couldn't be doing it without assistance and some really, really great people. But I have no employees. I do everything myself. So I don't have an office, and I don't have trucks, and I don't have all sorts of things. It's just me. I make deliveries. I sell it. I do not distill it. I have a distiller in Colorado who makes me look like a genius. And they're very, very talented people, and they were instrumental in getting us to where we are today.
That's fantastic. And you need people like that as an entrepreneur, as a small business. you need to make sure the people who are on your team are exceptional at what they do. Like, you don't make it in your bathtub. You go out to an amazing distillery to make that happen. Unlike, where you were at. Was it Jamaicans? Were it St. Martin's? Is that where you were?
I was in St. Martin, and I was we were enjoying a particularly romantic dinner. And honest to God, I can't remember the name of the restaurant. Shame on me. On the French side of the island, with the sunset. I mean, this was a picture postcard type of evening. And at the end of the meal, they brought us, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 bottles of different flavored rum liqueur. And they put down a couple of glasses. They put down the 6 bottles, and they basically said, "Here, help yourself." Which it was very cool. The bottles were hand painted. They came with a small kerchief around the top of the bottle where the cork was. It was particularly cool. The bottles were available in a couple of stores on the island for about, I think back then it was $10 or $11 for a 700 milliliter bottle. We're familiar, I think, more so with a 750 in the United States. And it was irresistible. It really was irresistible, I must say.
So I noticed you focused on 2 different flavors with your rums. Will you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the reason we did that was to us, 2 was, when I say to us, I was working with somebody back then. They did not last long with me for a number of reasons. We thought two would a white rum and a dark rum would go well as a pairing. We thought that, frankly, it would have been too expensive to do more than that. As it was, this was a significant expenditure of funds to just make the first batch get going, and it was a long process. This is not a game for the faint of heart. It really isn't. I mean, liquor's a big deal. It's a big industry with people playing with very, very vast sums of money. And I wish I had some of that money. I don't. So for me, it's certain things are far more difficult than they are for larger companies with very, very deep pockets, marketing and promotion specifically.
Sure. And during the COVID days, I've noticed that a lot more people are constantly on social media. And I also noticed that I'm pretty sure during the COVID days, I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people in my network and my friend groups have increased their drinking. Did you notice your sales increase during the COVID days? Stephen, hold on, you're muted. You're muted. Stephen, I can't hear you. You might have to call back in because I can't hear you. So 1 second, we're going to give that call number again. If you have any questions for me for BYOB, the number is 888-994-4995, Studio 5. And when we were talking to Stephen Gubb, the owner of Gubba Rum. And he has 2 fantastic organic rum choices for us. It's vanilla and coconut. And he says that the water used to make his rums are from the Colorado Rockies. Amazing. So what Stephen's going to be getting back with us shortly. So what Stephen was also saying was that it took immense amounts of determination. And he focused on his passion for making sure that people had the same experience that he did when he was with his wife in St. Martin's enjoying this amazing rum that he discovered. So he wanted to bring that back to the States. And that's exactly what he did with Gubba Rum. So for more information on accessing Gubba Rum for your liquor store or personally for any parties that you may be having, you can reach out on gubbarum.com. And Stephen said you can reach out to him personally, and his email is on the website. So today,
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke? If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
And we're back. I'm Bridget Hahn, your host of BYOB, Bring Your Own Business. And today we interviewed Stephen Gubb, the owner of Gubba Rum. So what I want to emphasize today is that being an entrepreneur is so much more than anything that you would want to experience. And as you could say, Stephen, being an entrepreneur requires a lot of determination, and you have to have passion for your product, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't love your product and if you're not passionate about it, nobody's going to be. And don't ever kid yourself. It's 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Nothing less. Nothing less. It's a lot of hard work. And for me, I think I'm as human as the next guy, and the toughest thing that anybody has to learn to do, as passionate as you are, or at least I find this to be the case, is that at the end of a long day, if it's even 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night, there's always one more thing you have to do. And it's so easy to sit back and say, well, you know what, I'm going to do that tomorrow. The thing you've got to do is to do it immediately. Don't let anything go till tomorrow. That's a toughie. That's a tough thing to do. I'm sure, Bridget, you've run into that.
Absolutely. It's important to not sit on your goals. And instead of saying, I'm setting goals, you say, I am achieving goals, and you get to work.
Exactly. Exactly.
I agree. Well, I have a question for you as an entrepreneur. So how do you hope to expand in the next year?
Well, some of it is COVID-19 dependent. It depends on how this all goes. As you know, being in Florida opened up, things were swimming along, and then all of a sudden the governor was closing the bars. So it really depends on what happened. That's very important, number one. Number two, I was hoping to be involved in a cruise line starting in April. That fell apart, and I just saw about an hour ago as a headline that the Bahamas is not allowing cruise ships from the United States to disembark its passengers in the Bahamas. That is not helpful. However, I am talking to people in Hawaii, and I am talking to people in Las Vegas. We hope to have some good news in those markets, and if we do, that would be great. New Orleans right now is sort of in a tough spot, and the only thing you can do is try to make sure you maintain relationships with your existing customer base, keep them strong, keep them viable, of course, so that you have income coming in. It's very difficult.
Absolutely. We're all trying to overcome obstacles during the COVID days. And again, Stephen Gubb here with Bridget Hahn, your host of BYOB. If you'd like to call in and talk more to Stephen personally, reach out and call 888-994-4995, Studio 5. So as an entrepreneur, we all do have to overcome obstacles. And especially in this market where everything seems to have shifted to online, would you find that, how have you adapted? How have you adapted to continue to maintain those relationships and to still grow in your market?
Well, the growth is problematic because during this time, even though the liquor stores are busier, in a way busier than they normally would ever be at this time of year, people don't, with the liquor stores, because the promotions are tough. Tastings really cannot be done. Nobody that I'm familiar with is going to reach out to me and take a sample of rum that I might give them, even if I'm wearing a mask or gloves. Now, I know there are some people doing tastings, I found out over the weekend, and I'm going to do some investigating on that. But because promotion is tough, it's tough for stores to take new products on. They tend to stick with what they know, what people ask for. So it becomes tougher for a small batch craft spirit such as myself to penetrate new stores. But that doesn't mean we're not doing it. We're trying, we do our best. We have added a couple of places, both in Massachusetts and in Florida. For example, we're now available at Black Tie Liquors on Jog Road in Lake Worth. Where we just picked up a store up in Melbourne, Florida, Michael's Liquors on North Wickham Road. So we're happy about that. We're at Ocean's Liquors, and they're on in Fort Lauderdale Beach on Las Olas Boulevard, right next to Elbow Room, the bar, and also at just off the corner of A1A and Sunrise Boulevard. It's just there's also a restaurant up in Melbourne called the Shack on Route 1. They're having great luck. They're having great luck with us.
Well, there you go. It sounds like you're still expanding even during the COVID days. You know, the reality is people still want what they want. And as an entrepreneur, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's going to continue to drive your business and to keep those relationships that you already have viable. So that's very exciting for your business.
Yeah, we were very excited to pick up the Melbourne location, the Palm Beach location, Lake Worth, the Black Tie Liquors. I've been trying to promote them very much. And we do that on the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. They're running commercials for Black Tie Liquors. They've been great. And on Fridays, they do a great segment for us about Gubba Rum. We had a very good time the other day doing a segment with them, with Freddie and Dawn, who have been terrific. And I urge everybody to, anytime you can watch that Friday show or any show Monday through Friday, for the Brooklyn Cafe TV show, you really should do it. It's a great show, and they've been great for us.
They absolutely, and you're a sponsor for their show, and they are fantastic. Dawn and Freddie are a dynamic duo, and I'm grateful to know them as well. Well, I wanted to say thank you so much for interviewing and giving us a little more insight into your amazing company and your entrepreneurship skills. Stephen, thank you for joining me today.
Bridget, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward maybe someday to doing it again with you.
I would love that. Once again, I'm your host, Bridget Hom with BYOB, Bring Your Own Business. We interviewed Stephen Gubb today with Gubba Rum. If you want more information, reach out to him personally on his website, gubbarum.com. We look forward to seeing you next week, and have a fantastic, motivated Monday.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke? If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation, staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Thank you for tuning in to BYOB. Join us next time for a fresh perspective and innovative strategies to building your own business. If you are a successful business owner with tips to help or would like more information from our hosts or guests, please contact us at 866-224-5422. See you next time.